All right, I think we're live.
Let's go.
Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and start that poll while we're waiting. Do I need to admit every single person?
Rue, do we have to admit everybody?
Yes. So there's a button called admit all. I can admit all, but yeah, just in case, I'm just letting you know. But you'll have access to it if you click on participants.
Are you?
I'm on it. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
I'll take care of it. Yeah.
Cool.
I'll admit people in 1 minute. Just letting you
Sounds
know. Cool. Yeah.
Yep. Have you looked at the weather for Michigan?
Haven't gotten there yet.
I've heard it's supposed to be good.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. I'm admitting people. Okay. Cool.
All right. Wonderful. All right. We're going to give the first sort of 3 to 5 minutes here. Let people trickle in. Where's we have a little poll survey. This is our first loyalty, live evaluation workshop that we're conducting, and there's a few different things that we've prepared to sort of share and walk through with you all. So there's a survey or a little poll that gives you the opportunity to let us know. And we're going to be sort of hopping around to a few different content types. So please let us know what you're most interested in, and we'll try to evolve the path that this workshop takes in real time. In the meantime, where's everybody calling from? Nice. The UK, Canada. I'm calling from my home in Indiana. Hot Atlanta, let's go. Multiple Canadians. People from all over the world. This is great. Let me see, before I start guiding the content, it looks like so far the majority of people are interested in a combination of the deep dives and live evaluations, with a couple of people interested in getting a quick look at some of the LTV analyses. So we'll make sure to cover off on everything. I'm gonna drop another poll here. Let's see. Maybe I'll keep this one going. I'm also interested to know, and maybe you can drop this in the chat too. If you had to say, if you have a loyalty program, do you not like it, or love it for your brand? That's another thing that would be helpful to get a pulse on from the audience. Are you coming in really, really, encouraged and optimistic about your loyalty program, or are you coming in because maybe it looks like some people don't have one yet, but they're considering it? Hopefully there's some insights by looking at a few different loyalty programs for different categories. You'll get a sense for how you can structure one for your brand, or at least think about it, because I use the same framework when doing some of these deep dives. And then others, maybe you'll have a couple of actual ideas. Got it. Some people have looks like the majority so far don't have one, but aren't really optimistic that it's doing much for them. I think that I think that we'll have helpful content for everybody. We'll give it 2 more minutes here. For those that don't know us, my name's Connor. I'm the chief loyalty strategist at Flaunt, and this is my co-founder, Chris. Chris and I have known each other since we were 2 years old, 3 years old.
2 years old, yeah.
Yeah. We are going to be covering a brand that was also started by 2 childhood best friends today, Slumberkins. A really, really awesome brand with a pretty innovative loyalty program too. So I was excited when I was researching their backstory that we have some overlap there. Got it. Somebody else has mentioned they have one, but the price, is that the price of the platform, or the rewards make it totally uneconomical, or the price of something else? Platform. Got it. Awesome. Well, there's a couple of times where I'll specifically be talking about things you can do with your program design to have profitable loyalty programs, and just make sure that you're not just playing the discounting game, because when you couple that on top of a platform that might be really expensive, it can start eating into your ROI pretty quickly. 1 more minute here and we'll keep going. So we have people all over the world. Quick polls. I think deep dives and live evaluations are going to be the focus for today. And people are struggling to drive ROI on their program, and are trying to figure out how to launch a successful program for their brand. So that's what I'm sort of going to go into this workshop. That's going to be my mindset. Yes, very important. All right, let's kick things off. It's 12:05 Eastern, and I know it's different times for everybody, but I want to dive into the content of what we have today. So, like I mentioned in the poll, there's a few different things that we're going to do today. We're going to do live evaluations. If you want a live evaluation, Chris just said in the chat, put your brand's website in, and the first 5 are not only in order to do the deep dives that I've recorded and walk through a ton of insights for you all today, I had to buy some products. And these are pretty cool brands that have pretty cool products. I originally bought them for myself, but then I realized, what a unique opportunity to give back. Today is all about trying to give as much value to you all as humanly possible. So we have products from each of the brands that I mentioned on the previous slides. Slumberkins, which I'll dive deeper into these brands later on. Hoodrich, an awesome brand. There's some people joining from the UK. Hoodrich is based in the UK. It's a very cool streetwear brand with an awesome brand story. Ancient Nutrition, fighting the summer cold. We all got to stay healthy. So there's some super greens for somebody. And Free Fly, which is an awesome outdoor brand. And we also are adding in a gift loyalty programs, the complete guide, to educate, to further everybody here, or give somebody the opportunity to further their education on loyalty programs. It was written by a company in Australia called Loyalty and Reward Co. Wealth of knowledge and insights. So if you has anybody shared their website yet, Chris?
Yeah, we've got one in here.
Awesome.
Gems Online. So
rock and roll.
We'll bring it back to that one later.
Cool. Okay, well, what I'm going to do is start with a deep dive. Today's first deep dive is Slumberkins, and then we'll sort of take it from there. And please feel free to provide feedback, drop in questions, and I think after the first deep dive, we'll switch to a live evaluation. Cool. But before getting started on live evaluations, I want to make sure that if you only have a little bit of time, you at least take away some of the key insights. How to drive incremental profits with a loyalty program. I want to share how I think about it and how we've, seen some success for our clients, and then we'll get into the evaluation. Key sort of tip and takeaway number one is determine your program's role. Everybody's business is very different. A skincare business where the product is part of the routine is very different from a streetwear business, which we'll analyze a loyalty program of today. So understand like what, in terms of your funnel, what is that metric, whether it's, the percentage of customers that make a second purchase in, the first, within the first 6 months of their first one, or whether it's really trying to convert, existing customers to subscribers or funnel people to super fans. Like understand what the business objective is for your program, and also understand your customers and what problem it can solve for them. That's very high level, but I think whether it's loyalty programs or beyond, understand and try to be clear about the objective that you have with it is step number one. Step number two is lean into your brand's differentiation. I know somebody mentioned in the chat that they don't have confidence that their program's driving profits for them, especially with the cost of the platforms, and giving away rewards and discounts. The way to make your program not only attractive and stand out amidst the noise to customers, but also make it profitable is to tap into your brand's differentiated set of assets to provide rewards that are unique to your brand, that that enhance or speak to what your brand's message and value is, and that you resonate with your customers, but that are efficient and not super costly to provide, and mix those in with some of the other discounts and just pure value related rewards. And there's some brands that do that well in here, but that's like understanding your brand's differentiation is huge. So if you're thinking about designing a loyalty program, think about what makes you different and how you're going to reflect that in the program. The next one is gamify that next purchase. Rewind way back in history, like the origin of loyalty programs. It was all about trying to tap into that customer or human psychology to make people a little bit more likely to make that next purchase. In the digital realm, there's lots of different opportunities for us to do this, particularly with a D2C, focused brand. Integrating with email and SMS, you can almost guarantee that if you don't have a tight integration, you aren't having a lot of your loyalty proposition and rewards communication conducted in email, SMS, and however you're engaging with your customers off your site, it's probably not driving incremental sales and value for you. So make sure that you have a really engaging way that it's enhancing your email and SMS programs. The other one is just make sure that it's showing up throughout the customer journey, because you want those rewards if there's opportunities. And there's some brands that do that really well. Ancient Nutrition is actually one of the brands that I think of the deep dives probably does that the best. But make sure that you're making your rewards accessible to people, and when there's opportunities to earn, that you're communicating. The other one is collect more data and use it. So the first reason a loyalty program, got invented was to gamify that next purchase, get people, tapping into their psychology to feel like they're more invested in the brand. The next reason and sort of role a loyalty program started playing as the world got more digital was rewarding data collection, incentivizing people to reveal themselves at different purchase checkpoints, and also to submit more information about themselves. Lots of brands have, D2C brands have product quizzes, pop-ups, email, SMS pop-ups, capturing birth date, but making sure that you have a process to capture this data and really efficiently act on it and provide personalized experiences and messaging, and especially offers. Because if you can recommend and have a great offer to a customer for a product that you know that based on all the information they have is relevant to them, but they haven't purchased before, like that, if they redeem that, like that's much higher likelihood of being incremental sales than just giving away a discount for something that would have happened anyway. So that's like personalization at its best, and a loyalty program can help you collect more data because you're rewarding the submission of that data. And a really, advanced and strong loyalty platform can help you more efficiently act on it. And then finally, this is one that I rarely see loyalty programs contributing to with brands today in the Shopify ecosystem, is creating compelling events. I know as a marketer, like we're hosting this webinar, it's a compelling event, trying to get people that we want to add value to engaged. The same is, and D2C brands know that having limited time offers or campaigns are important, but rarely are those connected with the loyalty program. And the result of that is you might have, leave or get 25 points for a review, or get $20 off if you make a successful referral. But if you can package those activities and those like really value driving actions and hook them into your marketing calendar, if there's a new message that you're sort of taking to market, rewarding, actions and having some bonus opportunities that are associated with a limited time, like we've seen huge amounts of impact relative to just the passive always on rewarding. So make sure that you are packaging those activities into campaigns that just pack more of a punch. That's another great way to help use your loyalty program to drive incremental sales and incremental behavior change that I don't see being done very frequently today. So that's kind of the criteria that I'm going to be walking through these deep dives with. But Chris, just a quick check on the live evaluation. We have 5 rewards to give away that we're going to ship to US-based people. Any other live evaluation requests?
Yeah, we've got a few in so far, I think 4. So the next one is going to get the last giveaway. We have 5 rewards to give away as a reminder. So we've got Indie Beauty Market, Enertor, Kim Siebert, it looks like, and then Gems Online. So cool. Those are the first 4 that after well, Connor, you kind of run it how you want to run it, but cool. Those will be our live evals.
Awesome.
We've got Lobby as our 5th.
Cool. Let's go. Okay. Well, maybe more people will continue to get inspired by how the deep dive is run. But like I said, I'm thrilled to do the first deep dive, Slumberkins. Quick background before evaluating and trying to think of like what I would love their loyalty program to look like. I think it's important to get rooted in like who they are, who's the target customer. So founded in 2015 by 2 childhood best friends. Shout out to companies started by 2 childhood best friends. And it is all about their sort of core product is children's toys that come with storybooks. But it has evolved significantly from there. They are almost becoming, it appears from the outside looking in, like a media brand. You can see here the Apple TV Plus and sort of creating their own IP. Target customer, parents, caregivers that resonate with this emotional learning concept. And they have a really, really strong D2C presence and Instagram following. So that's who we're about to dive into. You can, like my brain is just like cooking on all the different assets that, the book, the show, all of the amazing opportunities to have a really diverse loyalty program that speaks to their brand. And I think that they've done a really great job. So I'm excited to show you this one first. The way that this deep dive is going to run, the video is about 10 minutes. And I recorded myself purchasing and just really like going through the natural customer experience. I think it's important before like diving into the video that, customer loyalty, the program design, the marketing, the assets, all of that is really important. But getting that sort of the mundane customer experience right is also really important. So I think it's, I'm sort of stumble through this like a normal customer, and it's in mobile. 70, 80% of, online sessions on these sites are on mobile. So I think it's important that we look at things through those lens as well. So buckle in. I'm going to pause things as I sort of see appropriate. I'm starting on Instagram because that's a lot of times where brands are discovering. You can see all of the different assets, really, really engaging. Live events, that is just like awesome opportunities for user-generated content. They're doing partnerships. That they have a book that speaks to their brand values. Again, I'd love to see that show up in the loyalty program. I always check on the Instagram shop just to see how much they're investing in that. And it looks like, the way that they're featuring their products in Instagram posts and have a curated Instagram shop, that's probably driving a good chunk of revenue for them. So now I'm going to their site. Always really important. Some brands don't do this really well. They don't provide a clean way to get to their Shopify site. So just make sure that funnel from Instagram to D2C is strong. This stuck out to me a lot. This was maybe the third evaluation, that I was doing. Save 15% on social emotional learning tools. That doesn't say like sign up for emails to get offers. This is like the social emotional learning tools. It just struck me because it seemed so much more valuable to me, because it's not about their products. It's not about their plushy toys. It's about like what they're selling you so much more than just like their individual product. And I just thought that this was a novel way to make that come to life. And I think that if more CRM and sort of loyalty programs could even just think that way, I think a lot of them would be more effective in differentiating for their customers. So I'm going to enter my email. Might fast forward this a little. You're going to see my email getting entered in these sites quite a bit today. So now I'm going to start actually finding a product. I've signed up for email. I've confirmed my subscription. Here I go. This was the only brand that had like a reviews sort of widget on their site. I thought it was interesting to see the reviews, although I can also see the reviews everywhere else. I don't love on-site widgets, especially on mobile. You can see my screen. It can just be a little distracting on just like the conversion and customer experience side. But I'm sure that they have it there for a reason and have data to support it. So now I'm going to add to cart. So what I do at this part of the evaluation is start seeing like, where's the loyalty program showing up? Is it showing up? Do they even have a loyalty program? Like at this point of the experience, I didn't even know whether they did or not. So I'm adding the product to cart. That's the order that you all are going to get. And I see it here. This is the first sort of alert, like, hey, there's a loyalty program. So this is log in to redeem points or gifts. That communication, I might be an existing customer that they want to remind, like if you have rewards, don't forget to apply them. So I appreciate that. It was a little challenging. Like I wanted to click on this and wasn't able to. But knowing Shopify sites and just like the sort of the checkout experience, I was ultimately able to get down and this login button. So I click login, I get taken here, and I'm going to create my loyalty account. Whoops. That's not the last time this is going to happen, everybody. Let's see. I'm creating my customer account. Critical to make sure that after you do this, after you create the account, like ideally they're taking me back to the cart. And that's possible with Shopify. You just have to have the right configurations, but you don't want to distract people from the customer, the natural customer purchase path. So I would recommend everybody check that and make sure that you have the redirect live. So now, prior to making that purchase, I'm going to check for a loyalty offer. The plushies, the toys, I think it's at like a good price point for all of the value that this brand is adding to me, but I still want to make sure I'm not missing out on a chance to get, $5 off. So this is what led me to the loyalty program and sort of distracted me from the purchase path. You can see already, just like in the fonts and the assets, this program there's a lot going on. If you look at here, like the scroll bar, that's one, just in terms of a mobile optimized experience, like there's a lot of content here, which you will see, which is really exciting because there's so much opportunity, but it feels like the next step would be trying to optimize it for mobile. My guess is the program, it's a little bit more optimized for desktop. So you can see here, I can like sort of turn points into discounts and percentages off. They have a few tiers, and they showcase the different points. They have all of these different activities. They have, this is the first time achievement is brought to my attention, which is probably the most unique feature about this program. And again, I think represents a wealth of opportunity to drive incremental impact. So these are those achievements. Complete your Caring Crew collection. Buy 5 creatures from the Caring Crew. At this point, like when I see this, I think as a customer, like this is really interesting. I try to click on it, and there's no other information that's shared with me about it. So I don't yet know the Caring Crew. So it feels like if there was a way to have more marketing context, maybe you could change the copy here, that could potentially create some participation. These are also things that I would love to see after the purchase. After I purchase one from this collection, like hit me with an email that says, hey, you've already completed part of this achievement. Here's the whole story behind the crew that maybe you didn't even know about when you first bought it. But if you buy 2 more, you can have this unique, bonus opportunity, and maybe even a chance to get our book. Like that is an example of how that achievement could be, spun into really, really incremental profits and sales driving opportunity. So again, like lots going on. In addition to discounts, there's also like these products. I don't, when I was scrolling through this, I didn't necessarily, there's not a lot of context given behind these products. I don't know whether I haven't done the math fast enough to know whether like these points whether this is an attractive price for that product. So if it is, figuring out a way to make that evident to me as a customer, I'm constantly like, I think it's a balance between gamifying and sort of disconnecting like this points and trying to make the perceived value of points be really high. But in this case, if this is attractive to me, I kind of need a little bit more help understanding that, because right now I'm just like, oh, that's so I can sort of exchange points for a random product. But again, I do like the opportunity or the fact that there's some diversification. I would have loved to see, they have this book, they have these other things that any brand can give discounts, and they can also sort of add products. But only Slumberkins could offer you like, a sort of tertiary product, like a book that helps you be a better parent and caregiver. Like, man, I feel like that would be, there's some potential added complexity, but think about the go-to-market strategy and just trying to get people to have as much perceived value as possible. Maybe it's only for your top customers, but it could really show up in the marketing. You can earn your way to, a free book. So all in all, really, really engaging program, so much opportunity. Eventually, I'm going to see how this sort of shows up in their email and SMS communication. But yeah, let's just like sort of plug along here. The next thing I'm doing is trying to engage another just sort of measure of an effective program, or something I like to see, is like immediate value. And I have 25 cents here, but I also have the opportunity to engage my way to getting, a more meaningful discount on my first purchase. So how we're going to do that is first entering my birthday. For those that don't know, the reason why brands, offer a birthday, and going back to one of the key, pillars of a successful loyalty program, is you collect birth date, and then I can give you a personalized offer at a time when it's relevant. And so that's like kind of table stakes that almost all brands with loyalty programs do. But that concept, taking loyalty programs to the next level as like a profit and growth driver, is taking that same concept of collecting data and personalizing and doing that as much, as you can. And that's the power of a loyalty program. But here I am, I'm following them on Instagram. I'm going to all of their different sort of sites and getting to know their brand ecosystem. They have an app, a Facebook group. For those that haven't set up a loyalty program before, most of these activities are like point and click. So technically, I don't have to download the app, but I'm a parent of some young kids, and so I wanted, and this brand is incredible, so I wanted to. On the Facebook group side, like this is an example where I'm just going to click and I can come back and don't necessarily have to join. Rarely do loyalty platforms support like that deep level, although there are some instances where you can do that, like with engaging on Instagram. So here I am. I have earned my way up to a decent reward. I think I got $4.25 off. So now I'm going to go complete the purchase flow and utilize my new loyalty reward. Let's see. Yep. So here I'm redeeming. You have my discount code, copying and pasting. The other opportunity to really engage and have your loyalty program sort of show up is enabling some loyalty platforms and some brands, depending on your checkout experience. In the checkout, you can let people directly apply their rewards. So that's just another way of like reducing the friction of copying and pasting and showing people the rewards that they have right where it matters. But here I'm applying my discount. It worked. That's great. And I'm going to buy my Otterkin, which one of you lucky folks is going to go home with. So now I am coming back to the program after making a purchase to see like what happened to my status. Did I advance in the program? Did I advance towards an achievement? And it looks like you can see, I'm like scrolling through this really fast. I was, like I said, just being a typical customer. You can see the achievements were starting to, you can see here, the achievements are I now have made progress on a number of different achievements. If this program could, I haven't received any email communication that sort of summarizes where I am, but I think that it would be a huge opportunity to start chasing the next purchase from me, to use those achievements as like the hook, whichever one is the easiest for me to complete. I'm also just FAQs in the program are really important. Sometimes these rules, like as we try to make programs differentiated, we make them a little bit, the trick is to try to make them really differentiated, really impact driving, but also not totally cumbersome and confusing, because the more bells and whistles you add, the more customer service burden you may have. And so ideally you have a loyalty partner that helps you address some of that. But that's something to be very mindful of when you're launching a loyalty program. I know some of you are planning to do that. Okay, this one is almost finished, and then we'll do some live evaluations. One thing I do want to call out, the deep dives, are taking a little bit longer. I did 4 of these. I have this deck, so I'm going to share this deck with the people that that have attended. So you'll have all of the insights. You'll have the videos. You'll have the takeaways. You'll have the opportunities for improvement. But I at least wanted to get through one full deep dive just to really see the customer experience, and then I might fly by some of the other ones and do some live evals. Okay, so we already saw me redeem the loyalty reward. We're going to now see like how Slumberkin's communicating with me over email. How are they like telling me about the value that I'm getting. If loyalty programs aren't integrated tightly with email and SMS, like they're probably not driving a lot of incremental sales. So this is my welcome email. I had a 15% off. I always miss that, but it's again more attention for me to potentially come back and make another purchase. So an engaging email, their story, that's so important. But I noticed that the getting to know your little one and taking a quiz, I think product quizzes are a huge opportunity to drive, incremental value. And just pausing on that for a second. One of the things that we do is ensure that all that data that you collect in a product quiz, and I'll just sort of fast forward to Slumberkins. So all of this data, like what are you looking for? A gift? Like what is your kiddo like? All of that is really valuable info that should be stored in your marketing automation tool. But being able to tap into that and design personalized offers based on historical product history. This is and being able to create a set of rules that, depending on what people purchase, you're able to generate personalized recommendations that you can load into your offer engine and to start distributing. I mean, these are huge opportunities for sales here. Oh, I was sharing the wrong thing. So there's some Google Sheets templates. If you're interested in having some of these Google Sheets templates that we've created where you can generate personalized recommendations and offers by dropping in some of your Shopify data, we'd love to make that available to you. So just make sure to let Chris know in the chat. Cool. So back to the live evaluation, or sorry, the deep dive. All of this is awesome information that they could be using to target me with very specific offers and rewards. So I have my results, even though I ended up buying the otter that one of you is going to take home. The yak was actually the one that I wanted. So I would love for them to hit me as somebody who appreciates good loyalty programs that drive results. I'd love for them to hit me. Not just give me this information, but maybe have a flow set up where in a week or two, they're hitting me with an offer for this product if I haven't already bought it at full price. All right. So in summary, opportunities to drive incremental profits. A little bit more prominent marketing of the loyalty program and maybe some more mobile specific UX, but I do want to reiterate, this is an engaging program. I didn't even touch on the fact that you can donate your points to charity, which is really aligned with the brand message of being a purpose-driven brand. Those achievements, wow, those are killer assets to have in your program. Make sure that the data on progress is being shared to your marketing automation tool so that you can send me really engaging emails and just add one more lever to start to try to get me to make that next purchase and start implementing Slumberkins into my gifting routine when I go to kids' birthday parties. That feels like a great message to tell me as a parent, hey, what an awesome gift for a friend's kid if you're not a kid. I showed you all the personalized offer engine that we have, just that's a Google Sheets that anybody can drop in their data and use. Make sure that you're taking advantage of that data, not just being satisfied with the initial recommendation, but that you have a system set up to hit people with personalized incentives. And also, rather than just points for discounts, points for a handful of products and points that you're donating, offering something like the book or exclusive access to an event, or maybe a personal consultation, with one of the founders, and obviously being very conscious, or tapping into some of the partnerships I saw being marketed and on your Instagram, because some of those rewards that divert the focus from just discounts helps you tell a better story to get people, your target customer, to engage with your program. And it also, typically, those can be much more efficient to provide than eating into your margin, which is really scary for people to do, in this environment. Okay, that was a long deep dive, but hopefully useful. I would love to maybe switch it up and do a live evaluation really quickly. And then I'll sort of fly through some of the remaining deep dives. And again, for those of you who we have your emails at the end, if you want to have access to the deck, please tell Chris. But yeah, Chris, what's the first? I'll just do a very quick sort of live flyby with some of the live evaluation requests.
Yep. So there's several here. I'll just go in chronological order, but as I was checking out everybody's sites, not all of them looked like they maybe had an existing program. So Connor, maybe we just like really focus here on the ones that don't. And then if we missed you and you do have a program, but I'm just not seeing it, like, do please let me know. So one that I saw that definitely does, Connor, is I'm dropping it in the chat here.
Whoa, it looks like I did the test order on our new brand site that just launched Tuesday. Like, congrats to the Slumberkins team. I was right at the cutting edge of everything that they had just rolled out. So awesome. Thanks for letting us know that. Okay, so you just linked me to.
Yeah, I'm just gonna drop a few in here, Connor, that I can like definitely point you directly to the loyalty program page.
All right. So LS Formula, the first thing I'm going to do is just like look at the about. Breath of fresh air in the oversaturated hair care market. Okay, so this is a repeat. Like, there's lots of opportunities to sort of repeat, be part of people's routines. Family-owned collections formulated by, this is when the thing that's in my mind is this acclaimed celebrity asset, huge asset that hopefully is like taken advantage of and marketed into the program. Originally developed by Wendy. I'm just going to look to see like what their breadth of their different products are. It looks like they have a lot. So when I see all of these different sort of like SKUs, I'm thinking lots of opportunity to expand, revenue with existing customers and get people to start with something, but then, recommend and have a sort of logical customer journey. You guys can see my screen, right, Chris?
Yeah, we got you.
All right, cool. Okay. So the loyalty program, I'm just doing a quick how rewards work. So it looks like there's just, standard activities. It looks like all of this is the same. You get some more points per purchase. Birthday gift, free standard shipping. It seems, like there's a few different tiers. I feel free signature gift wrapping, that stands out as something that's a little unique. One thing that sticks out to me about the rewards program is, and I guess I would access it, originally from here. This is probably the better, first place to go to. Join the program. It's a tile of, and I'm just going to take a quick look at mobile. Clean. There's not a lot of like marketing. So the role that this program is taking is just sort of like, and my personal opinion, it's like we have a loyalty program, we're giving some value back to you, but I'm not sure that I would be holding my hat on the fact that this is driving like a lot of incremental sales and revenue. I think some opportunities to improve might be marketing, like just having some level of storytelling that obviously, like when you look at this about page and thinking about our ethos and our principle, like how is that showing up as part of the program? I think that that's just an opportunity to catch people's attention a little bit more and figure out, like, even if there's just like a couple of really, really unique assets that like top customers, people that make it into that top tier can have, that's really aspirational, like some sort of differentiated content, some ability to have a personal consultation, have an ability to connect with the community. I think that could help on the just like increasing the perceived value and tapping into your brand assets. The other thing, like when you saw the program that that I just walked through with Slumberkins, they have these achievements and these like different things that you could do. Imagine having a achievement or a challenge that is getting people to, buy that first product, but then really like whatever the ideal version of the, I don't know if it's Elay's formula or Isle's formula, but of the brand sort of routine. Like what's the ideal routine where it's like somebody is like, we have them, they're committed to our products, figuring out a sort of campaign or an achievement where that nudges people along and engages with them on Instagram, or sorry, via email, feels like an opportunity to use the loyalty program, use rewards to nudge people along. And then I'm not sure if there's a quiz or anything that just like gets some insights on people. That's something that you could reward that as part of the program, could be another opportunity. But if you want to dive deeper, would love to. Don't hesitate, whoever is with this brand, to reach out to one of us at the end of this. Okay, I'm going to try to get 2 more in, Chris, really quickly before scanning through the remaining deep dives.
Cool. Yeah. The others that dropped theirs in the chat, feel free to redrop it in the chat if I just missed your program, but I was scanning through all the websites and didn't see them. So you might want to, Connor, just kind of pivot back to.
Okay. Well, I saw somebody drop in. I might actually do a quick live evaluation. Here's another example of a loyalty program that leverages achievements. You can see here they're marketing the program as one of their core offers. This is Bareface, a skincare brand, and you can see here just like the engaging dashboard. This is kind of an example, and if you look at the mobile view, this is something that it's a little bit more optimized for the mobile experience. And these types of like challenges and campaigns are things that get marketed to you via email and SMS. So this is another example of like, this is equivalent to the achievements that we saw in the other program in Slumberkin. So just another example of like this challenges or these compelling events and campaigns being brought to life here. But cool, I'm gonna go back to and fly through. These are the other evaluations we did. Here's Hoodrich. Hoodrich is a streetwear and apparel brand. Very different sort of retention dynamics from a skincare or a hair care brand, but still a huge opportunity to drive incremental revenue if they can boost retention. Another just like LTV and sort of Excel, situation. We've partnered with this is sort of a mock brand, but an example of like a sort of drop-based brand and what retention can do for their business. We forecast future revenue for every single brand that we work with, and this is just using some mock data. But we have an LTV model. This is another thing that if you are a retention marketer, e-commerce marketer, and you want a way to evaluate what retention can do to sales, this is a great tool that we can sort of provide to you, and you can drop in your Shopify data. But if you could get the percentage, their key metric is percentage of customers that repurchase within 6 months. If you can increase that just by like 1 percentage point, you can have a huge lift to your sales growth without any new impact to new customer acquisition. So this is similar to how I would think about the Hoodrich opportunity. Like they probably don't have as high of a retention as even Elay's formula does, but still a huge opportunity to drive sales if they can get it right. The opportunities that I saw for them, these videos are all in the presentation, which I'll be sure to share with you all. They didn't have great communication about the loyalty program during the customer journey. There was an initial value that they were offering, which was terrific. Right for signing up, there's a £5 offer that I could apply on my first order. I didn't didn't know that. And so I feel like there's some opportunities, and there's also some issues, user experience issues, number 5, with just account creation. So again, whenever you're evaluating the loyalty, like building a loyalty program, make sure that you're taking advantage of the opportunity to audit your just general blocking and tackling customer experience, because you'd be surprised how much you can find. We're all operating with really lean teams and trying to do a lot. And so just I would strongly urge you to do that audit as often as you can. Loyalty challenges, some of those like achievements like that that you saw with Slumberkins and with Barefaced, those could be really, really interesting for Hoodrich to get people to engage, especially if they have like a limited time window where they have this amazing artist partnership, which is a core part of their differentiation. They could enable people to, you know, earn extra rewards for taking certain actions that might be a combination of engaging, purchasing, you know, a series of drops, and sharing with their friends. So I think that these types of brands tend to have really great marketing campaigns. And so being able to prompt as much activity as possible during that is a really great opportunity for them. And like you saw with the sort of LTV model, a small increase in retention for a brand like this can really boost sales. Ancient Nutrition, you'll see if you watch this video that as I was taking the product quiz, there's some Easter eggs in there in terms of the questions they were asking. But this is another brand where education is really, really huge. They have a founder that is a doctor that has written books and has a wealth of, you know, assets. They don't really tap into that in the program. So I thought that was a big like opportunity. I would love to see them rewarding engagement with some of these different content, like 5 ways cucumbers can boost your health, like, you know, rewarding people for participating and taking quizzes and just engaging with the brand. Or if you're a subscriber to, you know, their greens product, enabling simple surveys that sort of get targeted to those customers to just reinforce the value, why, and prevent customers from saying, why am I paying, you know, $40, $50 a month for greens again? Just reinforce the value proposition and reward people for engaging. What they did a great job at was marketing on the product detail page. Let's see if I can find it, you know, really quickly. If you're designing a loyalty program, I would really urge you to try to, you know, strive for this. When I was browsing the product here, you know, it told me how many points I was going to earn on my order for if I were to purchase that product. They probably did the best job of any customers of just like sprinkling in the loyalty program value proposition throughout the customer experience. If you watch the whole video, you know, you'll definitely get a look at that. The last deep dive that we did that you'll have the benefit of really like stepping through is Free Fly Apparel. Awesome, very, very cool apparel brand, family owned, appeals to outdoor enthusiasts. This is one where I might have the biggest like criticisms of the core value prop of the program. Let's see if I can find like a quick you know, view of the program in the last few minutes that we have here. So the first tier, free to join, a free shipping benefit for any orders over 100. As a just like critical customer, you know, that was just going through experience, I'm like, oh man, I feel like that's kind of table stakes. Like a lot of people offer that. And then a birthday gift like that, I have to give you data in order for you to do that. So it feels kind of like a give and take. I don't know if that's like, it doesn't have a lot of perceived value, right or wrong, for me as a customer. And early access to new arrivals, I usually just kind of discount that as a lazy on the go customer. I'm like, oh, I don't know if that's like important. I'm just kind of frugal. But the one benefit that stuck out to me was like this exclusive email support. I thought that was kind of interesting. But in general, when I look at this brand's like Instagram presence and just like everything, you know, about their brand, you know, their empowering people to adventure. They have that also on their, in terms of their differentiators, their material. They're a huge, hugely focused on sustainability. And so, I feel like there could be just, and they have some really great partnerships that were featured in their Instagram. So I'd love to see them offer more immediate value, make the reward suite just a little bit more compelling, and tap into some of their unique brand assets to offer some rewards, especially to those aspirational customers that are really marketable and have high perceived value. It feels like that's not a program that only FreeFly could stand up, which is one of just the sort of criteria that I usually give. A number of others recommendations in here that you'll have as part of the deck. But maybe Chris, like in the last few minutes, are there any other just live evaluations or any questions that people have? I've done a lot of talking in 54 minutes.
Yeah, feel free to drop any questions for Connor in the chat if you have them. There weren't any others, Connor, that I saw that had live programs today to kind of go through.
Okay. Well, maybe I could, Chris, was there one that didn't have a live program, and I could go through and just like start to, brainstorm a little bit?
Yeah, here, I'm going to drop in Kim Sabert, trying to see who dropped that one in.
Okay. Tabletop design. Interesting. Let me see if I can find the about us so I can just get a vibe. So Kim is a lifestyle and entertaining expert who decor is available in retail. Okay, so when I think about a loyalty program, if assuming that I am, evaluating this right, like one thing we haven't done in any of the evaluations today is think about, like, if you're an omni-channel, another way that the loyalty program can add value is to get some insight, either one, funnel people to your D2C channel because they can get rewards, depending on whether that makes sense for you or not. That's one way in which a loyalty program can, thinking about like what's the role it plays in your business. It might be trying to get more people to go through your D2C channel, but it could also provide rewards for people to reveal, like, hey, I bought this at Bloomingdale's via receipt scanning. And as long as you have a system that can take advantage of that data, that's also another really great opportunity. Okay.
There's another one, Connor, Indie Beauty Market. They've got a skin quiz.
indiebeautymarket.com.
Yeah, I dropped it in the chat.
Okay, cool. All right. Indie Beauty. Oh, I see. Very cool. Okay. So, a comparable, like off the cuff, when I'm looking at, this brand, I'm like comparing this sort of bareface style program to, what they offer. They have a skin quiz. This is data that should be not only helping guide customers, but it also should be helping, like, this is all data that hopefully is getting funneled to your, Klaviyo or whatever your marketing automation provider is, and helping guide people and nudge with offers. So that's just one sort of recommendation. I just want to look at the about here. Natural, healthy beauty inside and out. Just some of the leadership team from the spa and beauty industry. The other things that I would just be wanting to do are, understand, like, what are their other brand assets that they have. But one thing I notice is that it's not just a skincare, it's not just a hair care, it's not body cosmetics. Like, they have all of these different categories. So figuring out and designing loyalty related campaigns that sort of nudge people to go from just a skincare buyer to a body care buyer. Like, this business probably has a lot more juice to be squeezed from looking further down the funnel than Hoodrich, as an example, who, like, Hoodrich and even FreeFly Apparel should be fighting for that next purchase. So that's that. And then with a subscription-based business, that's another like just sort of role as or another layer of complexity as you're thinking about like, what is the role my loyalty program plays relative to the subscribe and save. Typically I like to think about a loyalty program has the opportunity to impact like this full, just go all the way back to like the first slide. The loyalty program has the opportunity to impact and nurture this whole funnel, as opposed to the subscribe and save, which might really just be like get people to become, returning customers or first-time customers, just nudge them over to subscribe and stay subscribed. Just for indie beauty market, I would just recommend that they think about the role that the program plays relative to subscription and make sure that they are activating that skin quiz data to personalize and increase retention and the average revenue per customer. Cool. Well, we are at time. Would love any feedback. This is, like I mentioned, this is our first one. So I would love to know, what was most useful, what wasn't as useful, we will definitely share this full presentation with you all. And if you want one of the templates for our LTV and loyalty analyses, please, we're not just proactively sharing that, like please proactively reach out. And and I guess finally, if you want to book time to have like a detailed audit of your, LTV or of your current loyalty program, of how you're driving LTV, book some time with us. This is what we do. We want to help. Chris, I assume that you've identified the people that are going to receive our suite of rewards.
I have. Yep. We'll be following up with you.
Awesome. Well, thank you everybody for your time today. Really appreciate it. I had fun and hope you have a great rest of the week and rest of your summer. Take care.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye. Yeah, and thank you for coming. You appreciate the walkthrough of the deep dives. Awesome, that's great to hear. Sometimes when you're walking through the the tactical user experience, you don't know whether that's the most valuable. So yeah, thanks for the feedback, and hope to see you all at the next one. Take care.